today. Hey, did Nintendo's stock drop last week? They must have announced something new. This is CheckPoint.
Welcome to CheckPoint, where this week's episode is not entirely about the Nintendo Switch.
It is mostly about the Nintendo Switch, though.
Yeah, it turns out a major console manufacturer announcing a new console is a bit of a big deal.
The Nintendo Switch. It's the big news. In an hour-long, primarily investor-focused presentation last Thursday, Nintendo dove into their new home console and answered the pressing questions, and also created a bunch of new ones. The main stuff you need to know: March 3rd, $300 US. Comes with both of those little controllers that they're still referring to as Joy-Cons in the face of all reason. 720p on the handheld, 1080p on TV when it's docked, between 2 and 5 hours of battery life. The only launch title you will care about is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Sorry, Bomberman. And you can get it with gray controllers or one red and one blue. They also announced Splatoon 2 for the summer and a new Mario game for the holidays. Beyond that, despite the cavalcade of third-party developers apparently working on Switch games, very little information was volunteered on what those games are. FIFA is coming from EA, and Bethesda still had a pile of Skyrim code lying around, so the Switch gets that as well, in case a lack of Nintendo support is what had been preventing you from playing Skyrim in the last 6 years, Beach. While not outright said, the Switch represents an even further retreat from the battleground Sony and Microsoft are fighting over. The Switch won't do 4K, or HDR, or VR. It just does what it does, and for many that seems to be the appeal. Conversely, while Nintendo has never handled online services the way the others do, that seems to be changing in the other direction, with the retirement of the frustrating friend codes to be replaced by a monthly online paid service that integrates with the Switch through a smartphone app. Nintendo has traditionally, I'm going to be generous and say, sucked at online services, but they always sort of got a free pass because it was free. If they're charging for it, like Sony and Microsoft, they'd better be able to offer a comparable level of service. For example, with PlayStation Plus, you just get free games every month that are yours until such time as you are no longer a PlayStation Plus member. With Nintendo's new service, you'll get a new NES or SNES game each month that goes away at the end of that month. So while many people came into the Nintendo Switch reveal with a fair amount of hype, Nintendo managed to somehow add more hype and a bunch of confusion, which, that's very Nintendo.
The Sims 4 is finally getting toddlers a mere 2 years after the game's initial release. Previously in The Sims 4, your Sims would have a baby, and after a while it would just magically transform into a child that could walk, talk, form coherent thoughts, and not ask to be read Gideon the Ready Gosling 8 times in a row. Which sounds awesome. Anyhow, now your Sims will need to teach their toddler Sims how to sleep through the night and go to the bathroom, which is challenging considering sometimes adult Sims will still poop themselves to death.
During the Switch reveal, Nintendo debuted footage for Super Mario Odyssey, apparently a Super Mario across the multiverse kind of adventure that sees Mario in a variety of different dimensions. One of which, a real-world setting apparently called New Donk City, populated with actual human beings. Which until now is what we all assumed Mario was. But thrown into the sharp contrast of seeing Mario standing beside weirdly 1940s-styled New Donk residents, it's apparent that Mario's appearance is not an artistic style choice, but that he's actually some sort of gnomish goblin man whose hat is alive now. No wonder he was flushed down the toilet.
Hey, have you heard about Titanfall 2? There are a lot of ways to market games online, but the official Titanfall Twitter account is taking a new approach. If you mention Titanfall in literally any context, they will get all up in your mentions. For example, Twitter user @EliasPandyYT tweeted, "I got Titanfall 2 for Christmas, but I'm way too addicted to Battlefield 1 to take the time to actually install the game." To which the official Titanfall account responded, "Do you think you will check out Titanfall 2 soon?" Okay, but it gets more uncomfortable. If you mention that you're looking for a new game to play, Titanfall will be there. Twitter user @SomeArmyGuy1995 tweeted, "As much as I don't want to, I need a new game. COD Infinite Warfare stream tonight." To which the Titanfall account replied, "Ever consider giving Titanfall 2 a try?" and then linked to their own listicle, 10 ways Titanfall is a different shooter. Even if you're aware of Titanfall, but maybe not a big fan, the Twitter account will still pester you. Take the account of @BriggsTheGreat, who tweeted, "I had the original for Xbox One. It was fun, didn't like the replayability of it." The official account sent back, "Were you able to read through that blog post we sent you?" Look, I get that it's hard to stand out in the world of Twitter marketing. That's why Wendy's has started dunking on fools, and Denny's started courting the only overlap of the Venn diagram between people who use Twitter and people willing to go to Denny's, which is people who are currently taking mad bong rips. But whoever decided that turning the Titanfall Twitter account into the digital equivalent of an unwanted drop-in visit from a Jehovah's Witness, I can't believe I have to tell you this, but that was a bad idea. I don't care if you want to bring me everlasting salvation or just a sweet shooter with some fun parkour stuff. Don't show up at my house at 8 a.m. when I'm not wearing pants and expect me to read your literature.
Back at the Nintendo Switch reveal, afterwards, the company also released information about a new Parental Control smartphone app that will integrate with the Switch. In the video, Bowser is trying his best to manage baby Bowser's video game time, and the app allows him, and presumably also human parents, to see what kind of games their children are playing, how long they've been playing, plus control things like time limits on screen use, and even remotely shutting the console down. Though, props to Nintendo, the video does make an appeal to parents that this should be a last resort and encourages them to, talk to their children and take an interest in their interests. The video also has the most character development for basically any Nintendo character ever. Bowser is an apparently single father who's really concerned with doing the best he can for his kid, and also has another man's girlfriend as his smartphone lock screen. A girlfriend he has, of course, repeatedly kidnapped. But still, there's a lot going on here. Is Princess Peach Toadstool baby Bowser's mom? If not, who is?
I mean, baby Bowser doesn't really look half human.
But from the Odyssey trailer, if Mario isn't human, Peach isn't either. So does baby Bowser look half lizard humanoid and half gnome goblin princess?
Kinda?
Maybe the scales are just like a hereditary skin condition?
Oh, so many questions. Coming up, the Windows 10 Creators Update will have a new game mode that improves gaming performance, but is still unknown as to what it is actually doing. If there is a way to make everything better, why aren't we just already doing that?
What is CheckPoint? Well, Banana Ninja 5858, you're about to find out.